Hey, everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I'm so blessed and honored to be here today on a Friday, special Friday edition of Love and Reload. My good friends out here in Lewisville, Texas, at Acme Car Shipping, with my good friends Cole and Charles Beaty over here. Over here, the Chinese food's kicking in, y'all. Had a good old lunch. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good.
Going good. Going good. Thanks for coming out.
I thought we were playing poker, guys. I brought my cash.
That'll be later.
That's later.
That'll be later.
Yo,
we can't do it before.
Yeah, no, it's Friday. It's Friday afternoon, and it's like 3 o'clock. Go get in the comments here. Let us know who you are, where you are. Hit that like button. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have had a really cool career in car shipping.
Yeah, definitely an expected industry for myself. Yeah, I mean, car shipping is something I never thought of, growing up and going to college.
You didn't major in car logistics?
No, I mean, I wish I did. That would have been great.
It would probably help a little bit.
Yeah. Went through the hard knocks of car shipping instead, so learned firsthand. But yeah, I mean, I kind of started going to UT Dallas. So
I didn't know you were a Comet.
Yep, I'm a Comet. That's right.
Our producer Samara's a Comet.
Yeah, she's a Comet.
Y'all talk about Comet stuff.
That's right. Well, it's way different than when I went to school.
Is it different?
It is. The campus is entirely different. Like, so much has expanded, new buildings, new opportunities, a lot more students there.
Smarter kids.
Smarter kids, for sure.
They're really smart now.
Definitely a higher cost, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just in the 6 years that I was there, I took the long road, working. I was working full time.
Money's worth.
Yeah, exactly. Working full time, paying for school as I went. So
get in the comments here. We got people checking in. I want to know what your first job in the relo business, and that could be moving, it could be shipping cars, it could be a DSP. I want to know your first job in the business. What was it? Hit that like button, get in here. We got Scott Chapman checking in. Looking forward to an amazing show. What's up, Chappie at Prime Lending?
Hey, Scott.
Yep.
Yeah. He was just on a couple of days ago. It was cool to check them out.
We got Laura Benjamin checking in.
Hey,
Hi,
Laura.
guys.
Hey, Laura.
Love Laura. Laura, you out in Jacksonville still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, why leave, right?
I know. Why not?
Especially when your Jaguars are good.
Yes. Definitely don't come to Dallas with Cowboys.
Jags are legit. We're 500.
I mean, I guess that's the goal. Maybe.
Put some respect on it.
I don't know.
We love ties.
We love
breaking propositions down here.
That's right.
I was kind of losing it when he fell down and then got back up and then got into the end zone. So,
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Sheila Benavides, love our NTRP sponsors. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Sheila.
What's up, Sheila? Let's see. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Scott Chapman says, hopefully we can talk about Charles' prowess at cornhole.
I mean,
hashtag ringer.
Yeah. When was that? When was that? Was that the winter NTRP event? I think it was. I don't know. Those boards were very forgiving. I don't know how, but we were on.
Yeah, well, we practice. The ones we have here are pretty slick, so it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, we like to have fun at Acme. A little foosball, little bags.
Yeah, little cornhole, little foosball. Well,
yeah.
Depends on the day, but
yeah.
Who's the best foosball player here?
That'd be me.
What? So we got the foosball table, what was it, 6 months ago or so?
Yeah, 6 or 8 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months ago. So I was winning 10-1, 10-2, just smoking everybody.
Yeah.
And I give them a few tips, give them a few tricks, and now I only win 50% of the time.
It's not 50.
Yeah.
It's
maybe
like
a little less.
Once every 10 games or so.
Oh, no, that's not right.
Hey, do y'all play with spinning?
No.
No spinning.
No spinning, right?
No spinning.
Okay.
No, it's serious around here.
Is spinning acceptable?
No, I mean, it should.
I didn't think
It
I didn't
should be
think so.
acceptable. No.
For children and like first dates.
God.
On the first date, you let it slide. On the second date, you're like, listen, we can't get married if you're gonna keep doing it.
If you could hold, if you could not spin, that's great.
Yeah, no.
That's awesome.
Get in the comments here. Is spinning allowed in foosball? Daisy, is spinning allowed in foosball?
I'm sorry?
I said, is spinning allowed in foosball?
No, not allowed.
Definitely not.
Samara, is spinning allowed in foosball?
No spinning.
Don't know what spinning is or don't know what foosball is? Spinning is okay. They didn't teach you that.
I mean, if you're trying really
That's right.
hard, like I'll allow an accidental spin, but
yeah,
I
you
mean,
let it slip, had a couple beers, and
like,
that's
man,
right.
oh, sorry, you know.
Yeah, oops. Yeah, but you better audibly apologize.
Yeah.
All right, people getting in here. Patty Booth. Look at that. Patty Booth is saying, "Yay, Acme."
Yeah, thanks, Patty.
Look, we are hilarious. Daisy's laughing. Scott Chapman, Winter NTRP event, first place. You were first place in the.
Yeah, we were first place. I mean,
What's the
luckily,
trick, man?
I think Scott really carried our team. Is really what it was. You know, I did
this is
okay.
one of those backhanded compliments where he's actually like giving himself, like he's boosting himself.
I remember him carrying the team. It may have been different, but I thought he carried us.
Yeah. Look at this. We got Constantine Zeros here checking in. Good to be here.
Hey, Dino.
Is that Dean, right?
That is.
I know Dean from back in the day.
You know, remember we talked about, we were having lunch one time and I was just like, yeah, one of my first bosses, and I said Dean's name and you're like, I know Dean.
I know Dean. Yo, shout out Dean. Dean, do you remember when you met me? I know Dean, I think from like back when I was working at like Freight Center or something, back when I was in Trinity, Florida.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep. Yeah, Dean was my boss at Dependable Auto Shippers. So that's what got me into the car shipping business.
And DAS was like kind of a coaching tree for so many people in this business.
For sure. Yeah, I mean,
Cole's like, yeah.
yeah.
I've heard all the stories.
He
man.
learned from
I was
yeah.
gonna say Cole's
He
playing
hears the
DAS
stories.
too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So talk to me a little bit about how you got into the business here. Get in the comments here. I want to hear your first job in the Relo business. But go ahead, Charles.
Yeah.
I want to hear your
Yeah,
Genesis story there.
Yeah, definitely. I was in college selling cell phones. I don't know if anyone remembers Nextel, the push to talk.
Bleep bleep.
Yeah, huge phones. You know, it was like one of those selling points is it's so durable. Watch, and you'd slam it against the wall, and it's all good.
But
you
they
know.
were so cool though.
They were. And I mean, the push to talk was kind of untraceable. You know, it's kind of like
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of
'cause that
people
wasn't
would
a
use
real
that.
phone call.
No, it wasn't
You
a
were
real
just
phone call.
bleeping.
Yeah. So I was selling cell phones, and I was dating this girl, and I was just like, I don't really like my job. I want to do something different. She said, well, I have a friend that leases cars, and I have a friend that transports cars. And I was like,
Hold on, wait. You were selling shady Nextels, dating this chick that knew guys that did a lot of things with cars.
that's right. And I always loved cars, you know.
Man, you really straightened out, huh?
I did.
This is great. I love this story already, man. Okay.
Yep. So
Okay. And so you were selling catalytic converters, and then what happened?
100%, you know, and this was before it became big. No, so I was, I said, okay, you know, transporting cars sounds cool. You know, leasing cars, it makes me sound like a car dealer. You know, it's like, do
Used
I
car
want to do
salesman,
that?
right? Like,
yeah.
you're not the one
I'm
that
not
nobody
that
wants to be.
guy. Like,
Sure, I don't see you that way at all.
So actually, my first interview was with Aaron Almond. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Yep. They didn't have any sales positions open, so I interviewed for customer service. I was like, hey, you know, check it out. And at the end of the interview, she goes, you should really be in sales. And so I called the sales manager, Craig DeSalvo, and was like, hey, I think this guy should be in sales with you guys. And at that time, they had a huge sales team. I believe it was 30. I don't know, Dean, you might be able to answer that better, but I think it was about 30 salespeople.
At DAS?
At DAS.
Yeah. Dang.
We were doing inbound sales for movers, eBay, all that stuff.
Okay, so
all that type of stuff.
there was not just relocation
Yeah.
business going on.
Dealers, movers, eBay, different sales sites.
Wow.
So it was a interesting.
And what was that job
experience.
like? Were you cold calling dealerships? I mean, what were you doing?
I mean, most of what we were doing was we're taking inbound calls, building relationships, because dealers would call in and they're like, hey, I sold a car and, you know, I need to ship it to Texas. You know, what's the cost for that? You know, I need to work it in my deal. And so, or movers, you know, some of those movers that I worked with in my first couple of months, I still work with today.
Wow.
I mean, which is cool. You know, it's spanning different jobs and stuff like that.
That's
so,
super cool.
And what I kind of learned from that was, I mean, I learned a lot from Aaron and Dean and sometimes Craig. Anybody that knows Craig would know. But I just learned like people really want a solution when they're calling. You know, it's like they want to be heard. They want you to talk to them. And a lot of this space, and anybody that's tried to ship a car on your own might understand this, is it's a lead that gets sold to 8 companies.
Right.
And then they hard sell you and call you for months.
And they try to close you right there.
Oh, it's always a hard close every single time, promising anything you want, but not being able to come through with
Well,
it.
and I was going to say that when you said people want a solution, I agree with you 1,000%. But I would add to that, people want a solution that they can trust.
Right.
100%.
Because there's a lot of people that will call you up off the internet that will tell you they can solve your problem.
Yep.
And there's so much freight fraud out there right now.
Yeah.
I know our moving partners deal with that all the time. It's, quotes that are half of what they're quoting. And same with cars. It's like you got people that'll promise the world. And what I kind of found was that if you talk to people, listen to their answers, and offer them what they wanted, or advise them on maybe something they didn't think about that would work well. And I became one of the top salespeople there because, it was a different experience than they had with everyone else they called.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Really, really interesting. I want to just get in the comments here because people are blowing up the comments here. People are loving these stories. Get in the comments here if you got a DAS story here because people are getting in here. Janet Turner says DAS was big. I had no idea that Charles came from DAS.
Yep.
Constantine, Dean,
Yeah.
right? I don't know why is this Constantine. Anyway,
that's
your government name there.
yeah, that's his real name.
All right, running from something. Dean says we had multiple call centers, all inbound.
Yep.
Dang, that's wild. I bet you don't see a bunch of inbound call centers for auto shipping these days.
Nope.
Sheesh, those were the days, huh? When they called you. Look at this.
Now it feels like it's all price related. Like as fast as I can get you the quote, and that's what I care about. But I mean, really, I think it's more about educating who's talking to you. If you can provide them a little bit of insight, maybe kind of walk them through that move, they trust you more with that. But
I walked in here and I was just wanting to play darts, and Cole was busy. Like, no, I'm trying to solve problems, man. Get out of my office.
That's right.
I was like, yeah, I didn't think you wanted none on this dartboard. But Mike Quigley says I have a great DAS stories. I have a great DAS story. A pond at HQ was involved.
Oh gosh.
I do remember that pond in Mesquite.
Yes, it was.
There was a pond out there. You ever get in the pond every once in a while?
Definitely not.
Yeah, take a rinse. Take a little
Not a
rinse
good
of
idea. Not a good idea.
Look at this. Hey, Mike, put your little story there. It's a
Yeah, I
little
want to hear
teaser.
that story.
A little
I don't
teaser
know
quick.
that one.
Hey, listen, everyone knows if there's a body of water, Mike Quigley's going to float in it.
That's all right.
Okay? Give him a little Mai Tai. He's going to be floating in that thing. Lisa Frederick says the Love Fest is strong. Awesome to see credit being shared. Yeah, that's important. What's that about? Why are you giving so many shout outs here, Charles?
I mean, it's people that made a big impact on me early in my career. I mean, Dean made me a team leader at 23 years old. And
Big mistake.
I know exactly. What was he thinking?
Just kidding.
And that was always an interesting thing because
What was that like having a team at 23? Because I was in the same position at Pods.
Yeah, it was different. I think it was 4 on my team. 1 was my age. The other 3 were double my age. So
What's that like?
it was, some animosity, it was, but I always wanted to help the team. And we did an awesome contest. It was a sales contest between the 4 teams. And I loved it. Like, I love competition.
Yeah.
to this day,
Yeah, exactly.
To this day.
to this day,
That's right. That's why I don't like to lose at foosball,
it's everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a huge, I think, jolt of confidence. Ben, you can probably speak to that, being early in your career, being a manager and having a team.
Yeah, I mean, for me, well, first thing for me, it was just getting off the phones.
Yeah.
Because I was working in an inbound call center, and I don't know if this is the environment that you had, but I remember when Aaron tried to hire my wife.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and my wife Olivia, shout out to Olivia who does not watch my show.
That's right.
She accepted the job. She was over the moon about it. Aaron and John were like super psyched about her, and she got the offer to come in as like a manager of the center or something.
Yeah.
And then I got the offer to go be a director at 1-800-PACRAT and start a division up in North Carolina the day after.
Oh my
And
gosh.
her and I had to decide what we were going to do. And so that was a thing. But I say all that to say I came from an inbound call center. She came from an inbound call center where we got our career started at Pods. And for me, it was just a means to get off the phones. Like I enjoyed competing on the phones. Like I enjoyed the competition and the camaraderie of being on there and like looking at the board every day and seeing how you're doing statistically. But to be honest with you, like it's a grind.
It is.
You know, like taking 30 calls, you know, getting your handle time measured, getting your conversion rate measured, getting your quality assurance scores measured and all that stuff. And I was like, how do I get off this phone? And the fastest way to get off the phone was to get into management. Yeah. You know, the fastest way to not do anything, guys, is to get a promotion into management, okay? And so I'm just kind of kidding. But
Cole, would you agree with that?
No.
No.
No?
It seems like a lot.
Are you in
more work
management, Cole?
sometimes. No, I manage all
you
of
don't
my
even
own
know,
stuff.
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait. No, I'm just kidding. No, but actually, the whole time that I was on the phones, though, between calls, I would listen to my colleagues. I call them colleagues. That's probably really nice. I mean, we were making like $10 an hour working, you know, and I don't even think some of them graduated high school, to be honest with you. But I would listen to like their pitch on the phones, and I was like, man, you know, these guys are rough. And knowing like they were supporting families at home, like I didn't have a family, and I'm like, man, you know, Anthony, try this, or you know, Stacy, try that, you know, and I would write down verbiage for them because I was an English major, so I was like all about like how to phrase things and everything. The team tells you I love to wordsmith things, and I would write my own verbiage and I would give it to them, closing statements and feature bridge benefit statements, whatever, and they would start to use it and they would find success with it. And then the executives would come from headquarters in Florida, and they would come visit, and they would walk the center, and they'd be like, "Where did all this verbiage come from? Like we didn't pass this out." And they'd be like, "Oh, Ben gave it to me," and I thought I was going to get in trouble, honestly, because it wasn't approved verbiage, you know. And they were like, "Well, I mean, you took initiative, you know, while it wasn't approved, like you took initiative, and we like your ideas." And that's to be honest with you, is really what got me promoted. But getting promoted, like it was a really, you know, being a supervisor then of like 15 to 20 something people. Yeah. And you're right, like almost every one of them was older than me. I was probably 23, 24 years old. Yeah. And they had problems that I wasn't like accustomed to. True. They had families, they had medical issues, they had all sorts of things. And I had to really work on my empathy, honestly. So it was really hard for me to be honest.
Agreed. I was kind of a working team leader. So it was like I was on the phones, but kind of helping the team. So it was a great experience.
I have a lot of comments here.
Okay.
I think we should read some of them because they're really good.
Okay.
I'm going to go back up to the top here a little bit and just make sure everybody gets a little airtime here. Yeah. Get in the comments here. Leave it. Jeffrey says absolutely no spins. Thank you. That's there right. We go. This is great. Daisy checking in. What's up, Daisy? Hit that like button. Get in the comments. Let us know your first job in relocation. How did you get started? Feel free to give a shout out. Mike Quigley saying, "What's up, the car dudes? What's up, gents?"
What's up, Mike?
Let's see. Scott Chapman says, "No, Charles was actually carrying the load for the team there at NTRP. He was riding your coattails."
You were winning?
I know, that's surprising, right?
Yep. Let's see. We got a question here. We got a few questions here. David Yakum. What's up, David? I worked with David. He says, "Is Acme a preferred carrier with any van lines?"
Yes.
We are. So we work with a lot of the agents directly, and then we also work with some of the van lines. Yep.
Are you at liberty to share any of the names, or are you under NDA?
No, not under NDA. But yeah, we work with Serva, so Allied and North American. And we work with quite a few United agents, Atlas van lines.
A lot of Atlas agents.
Yeah.
As well.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of the big ones there.
For sure.
Very cool. And we got Caroline Cook checking in.
Hey,
that is so important and kind to recognize who got you to where you are today.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to recognize that. I mean, it's definitely on the work side. I mean, and then on the personal side, I mean, my dad ran his own company my entire life. So,
oh, really? What kind of company was it?
So he was actually got into satellite television at the very beginning, but on the commercial side.
Okay.
So like Home Depot and companies like that would do training through satellite communication. So he got into it right at the beginning.
How does that work? Like, give me an example. Like what do you mean they do training?
So back then, you weren't able to stream anything. So it was essentially streaming before streaming through the internet was possible.
Like remote training, like someone's going to train me, but they're not here.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is via satellite.
Yes.
Because there was no internet. So pre-internet.
Pre-internet, yeah. So like
it's like so hard to.
I know,
conceive
isn't
of.
it? It's like what?
I know,
It
even
seems
for me, and
strange.
I'm pre-internet.
Yeah. So he was an electrician and was doing a job and came across an owner of a training company that sold this service, and he was one of the first installers that they had. My dad is such a hard worker. Like my entire childhood, like you just saw his work ethic, the way he treated his customers, always taking the phone call, always being honest and transparent. Like that was a huge impact on the way I viewed work and how it should be. So that made it a huge impact.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
what about you?
Yeah.
What impacts?
I mean, as far as people that I learned from, a big one was you. I had watched him all the time. Like, I mean, even when we were after hours, things like that, there wasn't a time during the day where you couldn't get a hold of him. And you kind of recognize what it takes to get to certain places, and you start replicating it. It's out of respect, but I mean, you've kind of earned it. Like, I've seen enough times where it's 10 o'clock at night, and you're like, hey, man, I need your help tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's cool. Leading by example. Julie Hill checking in saying, hi, guys. Loving the stories. Janet Turner's loving the stories. You got
Hey,
something?
Julie, what employee number were you? I think it was 3 or 4 at Acme.
I think it was 3.
I think it was 3. Yeah, Julie
Will
is
was 1, right?
Yeah, she came from the household goods industry.
Where do you
Worked for a
get?
United agent.
I was going to say, where do you get most of your talent from?
I mean, a lot of it tends to be in the moving and relocation space. We have Rochelle on our team that worked for CMS, so third-party services.
Okay.
A couple of coordinators from the moving side, Shelly and Keely. Shelly has actually just joined our team in January. She was actually a longtime customer of ours on the coordinating side for a mover, and she was looking for a job and was like, I'd love to come work with you guys.
I love hiring customers because they get it.
Yeah.
They get you. They get your company. They get your ethos, your culture. They can be excellent advocates for you because they believe in it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that move.
And I mean, the rest have been really connections to someone on the team. Like probably all but one of our hires has been a referral from someone outside the business or within the business.
Family.
Yeah, and family.
Referrals are super, super big. They say 70% of jobs aren't posted, and referrals are a big reason why. Sometimes people are referred in before jobs are even real things.
Yeah.
Heather Jameson checking in from Michigan. What's up, Heather? Julie
Hey,
says she is number 6.
Number 6.
She was sooner than that.
I know.
Look at that. Laura Benjamin says Charles was the best at DAS, always willing to solve a situation. Not that there were ever any.
Well, I mean, gosh. I don't know what I should say to that.
Dean
but
says you were very easy to coach, always willing to learn. Talk about that. Where does that come from?
I mean, I think part of it is like playing sports growing up. You have to be open to coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing. I've played soccer all my life. And it's, you have to be open to feedback that maybe you don't want to hear, because sometimes it's like you think something works and somebody gives you a suggestion. You're like, oh, well, it's a different way to look at it. Something I didn't think of, but
I love that point you just made. I think that we think of athletes as really good folks to recruit. There's a lot of companies that form their early career recruiting around athletes. Enterprise Rent-A-Car comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
And I think that we think athletes are good to recruit because of their competitive nature.
Yeah.
I think it's what you just keyed in on, their coachability. Yeah. They're used to being coached hard for many, many years, right? And that candid feedback and that candid accountability and like, hey, we're talking about goals and metrics. I mean, points. A point is a metric.
sure.
How many points did you score? And it's very clear who's the best person on the team because one has the most points,
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really great point you just made.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that's a big key. I know Cole has a background in.
Yeah, I played a lot of football, and honestly, I always did better. The harder the coaches were on me, the better I performed. And I don't know if that was like a reflection of it or what, but it always ended up that way. I just think that when somebody holds you to a high standard, you have to hit that expectation, and you try everything you can do to get there. But you got to be willing to take the hard feedback sometimes too.
Charles, do you notice that the more you yell at Cole, the better he does?
I think he is very coachable and different because as anyone that's come into the relocation space, so Cole was on our operations side for 6 years. When you come into that sales side and you're kind of learning about RMCs, movers, like how all of this connects together, it's kind of eye-opening. You know, it's like you think going into it, you're like, I have a good idea of what's going on. And you're like, no, I don't.
Didn't have an idea.
Yeah.
What was that eye opener for you, Cole?
Well, it was learning how all of the different companies connected. So you have like all of your RMCs that have different movers that they work with, and these movers refer people this way. And there's just so many different levels of who's doing what that it takes some time to kind of figure all of that out.
Yeah.
Like especially going to the conferences and things helps a ton because then you learn, okay, well, this conference is for these certain companies. And that was a big eye-opening deal for me was that's a lot of people that work for just one bigger company essentially.
So did you start in operations or start in sales?
I started in operations.
So that's interesting because I think oftentimes the perception is that you're either a salesperson or you're an operations person. And somehow that's hardwired in us, or introverts and extroverts or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing more and more folks cross over with a lot of success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Daisy on our team, she's operations for 20 years, and now she's in kind of a sales type, customer facing type of a role, doing phenomenally well. And you're doing the same thing now.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's because it's like they said in the comments to a point, you can solve the problems. Like, I don't have to go to other people all the time to go and solve it. It's immediate. Like, for an example, if a driver has a breakdown on the way to pick somebody's car up and they've got a flight the next morning, well, I know who to call to fix the problem. And you can do it quickly. And I think that helps a ton, especially being able to have the confidence to go in there and say, well, we can guarantee this service because of X, Y, and Z. And it helps. I mean, it really does.
And really on the ops side, you built great communication and relationships with our carriers. And a lot of it is because the carriers aren't necessarily used to being talked to as a partner. A lot of it is, hey, this is what you're going to do for me. Here's the restrictions. Here's all the things you have to do. And Cole went in there and our ops team. I mean, shout out to all the ops people out there. I mean, you're the one that's like pushing everything along and making everything happen. It's always the salespeople that get the FaceTime and the credit and all that stuff. But ops team is, Cole kind of went in there and was just like, hey, hey, I'm Cole. This is what I do. This is what we do. We handle corporate relocations. Are you guys in this industry? Do you support any of our competitors? And then he would forge these relationships that would sometimes change the carrier's outlook, or they might start buying more trucks because they're like, oh, cool. You can consistently give me freight on these lanes. And, it allows us when, like Cole said about getting a call at 10 p.m. at night, it's some of the accounts or partners that we work with right now came from a late night message of, hey, this mover told me to call you.
Like,
I need help.
Yeah.
The people that I normally work with have all said they can't get it done. And it's like, I'll get it done for you. Like, I'll get a truck out there. And that's really where these connections and relationships happen. And the trust happens is when you follow through.
Do you think that operational excellence has led to sales success for you?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the carriers that I used to work with all the time, and I still do, I just don't talk to them quite as much. It kind of makes me sad sometimes, but I enjoyed working with them. I mean, the guys that ended up being big names for us were consistently moving over and over and over and over again. And that's kind of part of the way that our system works is it's all done by a feedback system for the most part. And we have different levels of orders that go into it, like super VIPs, standard COD stuff. But all of our carriers.
What's the lowest tier?
Just be normal.
I'm just kidding. That's a trap. That's a
That's-
trap.
No,
No,
it's not that it's a
That's
lower
a family
tier. It's
member's
just-
car. Anyone that's ever helped out a family member, you know.
Yeah, and it's not even that really. It's like the carrier themselves is judged by a feedback system. So the more good feedback you get from like different moves, the more workload they'll get in their lane. And they all have different specific lanes and vice versa. So if we have a guy that, didn't call the customer an hour ahead of time of showing up, then obviously that gets notated in his account and gets less moves. And I mean, it works really well. It kind of weeds out everything that we need. So.
How do you take that qualitative feedback, like, oh, he was an hour late, or things like that are kind of what I call like qualitative or verbatim, written out, and how do you make that quantitative so you can calculate the quality of that carrier?
Yeah, everything is in our own system. So we can basically go through and make a note on our system, and they all line out, and then we can run the percentage points on that.
So that's a big key of how we've done well operationally is just working with the people that do the best job. And as anybody that's having to choose what provider they're going to use, you sometimes have a choice. Do you go with the cheaper option, or do you go with the one that's more consistent, that's going to do a great job for you? And like, that's been a big thing with our team is like, go with the best option. Like, it might be a move that we're not going to make any money on. And sometimes that happens, but it's about the overall experience and the consistency.
Really interesting stuff here. Heather Jameson says, I agree. Operational excellence leads to sales success. Feel free to use that in your book, Heather. I'll write the foreword for you.
I mean, even like one of the carriers that we worked with, you become friends with these people over time because you deal with them so much. Like, they've been out to the ranch with me, and I actually bought a bull from one of them because they do the same thing I did on the weekend.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What in the world, dude? We're sitting at a conference room table on a podcast, and you out at a ranch buying a bull?
Yeah, I did buy one from him. It was a registered Black Angus bull. Yeah.
Is this customary?
No, it's not customary, but it's
Wait, how many cars did you trade for that bull?
not any at all.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe.
You buy a lot of bulls?
Yeah, we
You say it like I buy hamburgers. You buy bulls like I buy hamburgers?
Yeah, we have a ranch that my family has, and I've been doing that for years. And I mean, that's part of, you talk about work ethic. I learned it from my family big time because all of them are, gosh, like my dad is an officer, and we had a family steel yard before that. And I watched that guy work for 12 hours a day, and then we go on the weekend and go to the ranch and work some more and turn around right back on Monday morning and do it again. And even my granddad was the head of sales for his division at IBM for Texas. And my mom, like, top 2 person at Medtronic for what she does for the diabetes division. So I've just seen it my whole life, like just kind of the work ethic and the really never putting your phone down, like, ever. Yeah.
So what do you think about work-life balance? A lot of people talk about work-life balance. It seems that young people are, really conditioned to really believe in that and hold that as a value. I hear that quite a bit. And what do you think about that?
I mean, you can have it to a point. Like, I mean, I'm always at all the family functions and doing what I need to be doing. But if there's an emergency for work or somebody needs something for work that's pressing, then that kind of takes priority, because without doing your job at work, you don't have all the fun things that you can have on your balance part of it either. So you just got to take care of your business.
And really, I mean, it's seasonal for us, for all of us in the relocation space. So, I mean, everybody's kind of fighting through that peak season time and getting everything done. And then you have a little more time to relax and, cut out at 5 in the off season.
Yeah, although lately it hasn't been quite as seasonal, has it? It's been a little bit more flat. The peak hasn't been as steep as usual. How do you feel about not having such a steep peak?
It is different. I mean, kind of COVID kind of threw a wrench in everything, where all of a sudden everything was peak.
It felt like for years we were saying, won't people just like just smooth the demand curve? Won't people just, all like not move at the same time and, straighten this out? And then all of a sudden we get what we were asking for. Like, now we can't catch a break.
I know.
We're never off.
I know exactly. That's so true. I mean, you definitely saw that during the COVID time where it's just everything is just flying. You know, it's like everybody might feel a little overworked, and then the weird thing is when it becomes a little slower, then everybody's like, no, we need the business back. You know, we don't need a break. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So-
now we can't afford to have a break because the peaks aren't as steep,
I know,
right?
that's so true.
Let's get in the comments, y'all. Get in there. Let us know what you think. Hit that like button as well. Somebody says, is this Rennie Dabbler? Says,
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard Charles yell at anyone. LOL. Today's the day.
Today's the day. But
Let's see if
yeah,
we can't break that streak.
I know exactly. I know kind of Renee's been on our team for a little over a year, but I mean, I feel like everything is coachable. It doesn't have to be a volume fight, and I mean, just a different view. Everyone's a little different, but you know, I'm more about coaching for that moment, and people are going to make mistakes. Like none of us are going to be perfect, but just figuring out what the issue was that time, how we're going to fix it in the future, and then move on from it.
That sounds very nice. I'll try to remember that.
I'm still trying to learn all the Canadian stuff that Renee knows. Man.
Yeah.
She is.
Renee does our cross-border Canadian shipments, Canada
Oh, that's
to U.S.
cool. You do cross-border Canadian, huh?
We do.
Hey?
Well, and
Sorry.
she's had quite a year. You know,
Sorry.
you're hearing about tariffs and
Gosh, yeah.
and duties and all
I'm
of these
sorry,
things that are
Renee.
occurring. So yeah, and
don't
I mean
mean
it's a constant change. Any of the Canadian movers out there would know that when you're quoting those moves coming to the U.S., it's tariffs that are being charged on things that have never been charged, and duties being charged when they have been personally owned vehicles and they've let them go through before.
I'm really curious, Renee, if you're out there or anybody, you know, what has that done to volume, or have you seen an impact to the business?
I've definitely seen a change in the volume, and we've heard it from our Canadian movers. They're like, I'm quoting a lot of cars, but you know, you're making that choice when you have a 25% tariff on a $40,000 car. Is
But
it
even
worth?
though it's not a new good, it's still being charged a tariff, a used car.
Yes,
100%.
as long if it was not manufactured in the United States or has not been titled in the U.S. at some
Got it.
point. So those are the two exclusions for it. So I mean, some of those cars that have been titled, you have a soft copy, you have a copy of it, you can use that to move it without.
Oh, if
duties
once
or
upon a
tariffs.
time it was titled in the
Yes.
U.S.
Yep.
But you'd have to go back and find that.
Some of them are even worse, like the Chinese manufactured cars.
Yeah, Chinese
that's-
manufactured cars. What, 100%?
I think it is 100. I can't
Yeah,
remember exactly. You have to
100%.
ask Renee, but I think it is 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Renee does an awesome job, like so detailed, just to be able to work through any international moves or cross-border moves for any coordinator is a lot.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were allowed to have Chinese cars. I mean, I see some of these videos online of these Chinese cars and they're very cool looking. Like
Yeah.
they're really cool. They're very
What are those little trucks called?
Oh, the,
I don't know. They're
Isuzu
super cool
ones.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't get them over here.
True.
And I didn't think we were allowed to get them over here for whatever reason.
Well, you have some Teslas that are manufactured in China, so sometimes those ship to the Canadian market, and so when they try to bring them across to the U.S.,
Okay.
that's when you get that surprise. You're like, well, I would have bought the American-made one if I would have known this was a
Or how surprised Toyota people are.
yeah. Yeah.
Why
So
are the Toyota people surprised?
yeah, go ahead.
They have basically they have to have like a holding period, and he can kind of go into it for more detail. I know the basic overview, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you have to have a compliance letter when you import a car. Basically says that it conforms to U.S. standards. Well, Toyota and Lexus 2 years ago, I think it was, stopped providing compliance letters. So you have to go through a registered import vehicle process. It's a 30-day hold at the border, and it's an
Sheesh.
interesting process. And I mean, so many people drive Toyotas. That's a big
It's
impact.
a very popular car. I mean,
Very.
the Camry has been one of the highest selling cars in the U.S. since the 90s.
Yeah.
Renee says, yes, vehicles going into the U.S. that were not manufactured or originally purchased in the U.S. has duties and tariffs. Vehicles going into Canada that were manufactured in the United States and not originally purchased in Canada has a 25% tariff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Goes reciprocal now. Yeah.
Yep.
We got people with questions in here. Get in the comments. Shelly Davis says, hi, loving it here at Acme.
Hey, Shelly.
Hey, Shelly.
Yeah, Shelly was a customer of ours, worked on the moving side for quite a few years. She just joined us in January.
What's up, Shelly? Let's see. Heather saying, I appreciate my history from relocation consultant to VP of global operations to sales. My experience helps me understand all angles of our industry. Interesting. Now, I will say, ops people that turn into salespeople, I've heard it phrased as the curse of knowledge. Sometimes they know too much. Sometimes they start to overcomplicate or tell too many details. And it's like sometimes salespeople that have never been in ops, the blessing is that they just say enough to get the deal done, and then throw it over the fence, and ops has to make it happen, right? But at least they got the deal done, right? Whereas ops will tell you all the things and sometimes talk themselves out of a deal. True or false, Cole?
That's 100% true. I have had to watch it with that a few times, to be honest, like just a few times. But I've learned to just kind of you give the cost estimate, you tell them what they need to know. If they have questions, they'll ask. You don't need to answer the questions before they ask.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to put it. Don't answer questions that haven't been asked yet.
Yeah.
Man, you got some good training, Cole.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Whoa.
Man, I was trying to give him a
Man.
sheesh. Look at this. Daisy says, operationally, you learn the inner workings, which makes it easier to be a great sales leader down the road. You are fully able to understand what and who you are selling.
Yeah, I would say that's a big key because it's, as a salesperson and being a subject matter expert, you're able to answer those questions immediately without having to pull someone into it. I think is a big key.
That's a big one.
Get in the comments there. Bridget Berlin says, Shelly Davis, hey, Shelly. Janet Turner says, old school equals hard workers.
That's right.
Janet says, I started in the general freight forwarding and steamship industry prior to Relo. We communicated via telex and tape machines. Oof.
Wow.
Sounds rough.
Still do.
So
Love you, Janet. Oh my gosh, what the hell's a tape machine?
tape machine. What is a tape machine?
I know, like, is it like when you see them in the movies and they're like, "What happened? No, they don't say. What? You're in the well? No way, Lassie." Like, what is a tape machine, Janet? For the love, like Western Union?
Western.
Like, oh my gosh, we looked it up. A tape machine. Samara looked it up. Apparently, they're $1,400 on Uline
Good night.
right now.
Is it because they're
wow.
vintage?
It is not actually because they're vintage. Cole says.
Wow.
No, they're brand new.
Of
But
course.
Who's sending you, besides Janet, who's sending you a message on that thing? Good night. What's happening?
Got to find the connection.
Oh, my goodness. There's a whole market out there that's communicating
100.
purely via tape machine.
That's right.
You know,
You
can
know?
tap that market. Oh, my gosh.
That's a way to
I
hide
love you
communication.
guys.
No one can figure it out. Yeah, it makes sense.
Fantastic. This is great, y'all. I wanted to just, we talked a little bit about cultivating the next generation of talent in this business, and both of you have started from the bottom and worked your way up in this business. And well, not you, Cole, but you're getting there. You're going places, Cole.
We're working on
tell.
Yeah, working.
Yeah, by bull or by car, you're going places. But what advice would you give to folks who are looking to bring the next generation of talent into their organization and make them successful?
I would say focusing on people that are naturally curious and open to feedback. Some things like that I noticed with Cole early on is he wanted to learn like different aspects of the business. That's kind of how I was early in my career. Like I talked to the claims department, accounting, corporate, because I was on the COD side at first. I always wanted to learn. Like being curious, I feel like is a big asset. It also makes you well-rounded. So I would say people that are curious, open to coaching, and I would say if you're early in your career, just being open to those things. Like ask the questions. I remember early in my career not asking the question. I'm like, why didn't I ask this earlier? Like, it would have been great if I would have asked this a year ago when I first thought of it.
As a hiring manager, how do you assess for those qualities?
I think
That's tough.
that is difficult. I think that's why we've relied on referrals for people. Some of the people we've hired, it's like we've either had firsthand experience with them, or somebody that vouched for them. They're like, hey, I would love to have this person on my team, but I don't need somebody else, and I think they'd be a great fit. I feel like it's been good. As a recruiter, how do you see it on your side to be able to?
First thing I do, I say, what's your favorite kind of food?
Daisy,
And
what
if I get chicken tenders, I know I'm barking up the wrong tree. I say,
That's
boom, right off the bat, not curious.
Yeah, not curious.
Not curious at all, And then if I yell at them about it and they walk out the door, I say, not coachable.
Not coachable.
Not coachable at all,
That's a good test.
That's how I do it.
All right, take notes.
That's a good
Actually,
test.
this is
I like
recorded.
it.
We can get it.
No.
I'm glad I got hired.
Yeah. Well, I forgot to ask those questions day one.
Yeah.
No, Daisy's very, very curious. Very curious. Very curious. I agree 100%. Though. I did a podcast about coachability. We have a Get Talent podcast that we talk just about recruiting and talent. And we did a whole thing about coachability. It occurred to me, it dawned on me, that is my favorite thing. Because for me, having a high trust organization where we can just be very candid with one another about expectations and about the best way to do things. And I can tell you what I think and you can tell me what you think, and we can just hash it out and talk about it and everything. And I don't have to hold back and edit and not tell you things. I'm afraid that you're not going to take it well, or, I'm going to offend you, or you're going to cry, or whatever's going to happen. I need that. I have to have that,
100%.
And otherwise it's just not going to work. And so I realized that quality that I'm looking for, after I read a couple of books, I'm looking for someone that's coachable. Now, I also realize I have to be a leader that builds a high trust organization, which means I also have to engender that in people too. Yeah. So I have to create kind of like safety, which is something I need to work on always, right? I have to own my mistakes, and I have to be open for feedback. It needs to be a two-way street, things like that. So, anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I could definitely see that. And even as a leader, we might have ideas as a leader, but it's not the final product. It's like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And, somebody on the team might be like, what if we did it this way? And it's like, sounds good. It's like, as leaders, we don't have to be the one that creates the idea and has the end of it. It's being open to feedback.
Well, frankly, it's better if we're not, right? Because
for sure,
the business can only scale so much if we're the ones coming up with all the ideas and everything, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to trust people to do that, right?
For sure.
Really, really interesting stuff here. Cole, what advice would you give to companies looking to bring in the next generation of folks to their business?
Be looking for the guy that tries to make it better than it was before. That was always kind of the goal. Like, how do I do this faster? How do I do this better? And really, it was faster all the time on my end, because the faster I could get that taken care of, and then especially send it to a carrier that I knew was going to do a good job, I could move on to the next one. I didn't have all of the 18 steps of, well, this guy isn't calling the customer, or whatever the case is. We went over their policies, they knew what to do, and they did it. So it takes less work off of like our customer service team, less work to the operations team, as long as they're just doing what they needed to be doing. And that's where he was talking about, if you have to pay a little bit more for it, fine. Like, as long as they're doing what they need to be doing, then everything went really smoothly. But just try to find the people that are trying to make it better.
Yeah. Jeffrey says he looks for people that enjoy, he said, Indian food for the win. I said, dang, that's super specific.
I love Indian food.
That's highly specific, Jeffrey. Good stuff.
Daisy,
Jeffrey.
What do you think?
About Indian food?
Yes.
I've only had it once,
Okay.
so
We'll have to make it a second time next time we have lunch.
Try it. We one of the things I love about Charles is we'll meet for lunch, like, I don't know, at least once a quarter, it feels like. And or if I find like a new Asian restaurant that pops up in like Collin County, I'll text it to, I'll text it to Charles and be like, dude, we got to try this dumpling house, or we got to try this Peking duck spot, or this whatever.
Yeah, the Peking duck place was great.
Yeah, and he's always down to try something. So today we went to Wu Wei Den, right? Wu Wei Den or Wu
Yeah,
Wei
Wu Wei
Den?
Den.
This is good.
Yeah.
Wu Wei Den, yeah, it was good. And then the last time we went to
Saigon Mall. It was like a
Cali,
food court.
Saigon
Cali
Mall.
Saigon Mall. Yeah.
I love the crazy names. Cali Saigon Mall.
Yeah.
Like Cali and Saigon are not close to one another. Not even same continent.
Well, you texted me and said, "Hey, want to go to lunch?" And I was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Wait, where are we going?"
Yeah, I love the snap call, by the
Yes.
way, too. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yes.
where?
Yeah,
and
wait,
it
where?
was south of me, which is way far for you.
Yeah, it was about 35 minutes or so. But
But you ship cars for a living.
That's right.
So
I
you're
can
like,
work
whatever.
from anywhere.
Yeah, you'll hop in the back of an auto carrier.
That's right.
So you got a car, you got a truck going that way. And so, yeah, so anyway, we went over there. What'd you eat? You remember?
Gosh, we had banh mi. Is that what
banh
it's-
mi, that's right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm trying to think what the other.
Roast pork banh mi.
Yeah,
Banh mi tuet nong.
sounds right.
It's roast pork.
It was good.
I'm
Both
glad you
were good.
clarified. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what it is. Banh mi is a sandwich. It's like a Vietnamese, so it's kind of, I'd call it street food. So it's a sandwich that is made with French bread. The bread is always fresh baked. And then it has, believe it or not, it has pate, also French influence. It has daikon radish and pickled carrots. It has sliced fresh jalapeno. It has cilantro. It has
All right, he's winning me over
maybe
now.
some cucumber maybe in there. And it has roast pork and some butter because it's French. So it's French influence. So it's
Yeah.
Vietnamese food is beautiful because it's like natural fusion because of the French influence in their cuisine. There's a little bit of colonization going on,
Yeah.
And so they have like all this French influence in their cuisine, and it's just the most spectacular. So you have the freshness of it, and then you have like French food, which many people consider French cuisine to be the hot cuisine of the world, right? And so you have these things coming together and melding. Also why New Orleans food is the best food in
God,
the
New
United
Orleans food
States.
is the best food.
So anyway,
I do like Cajun food. Yeah.
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 And Cajun and Vietnamese is the Cajun food of like Asia. So Vietnamese people are like the Cajuns of, so that's why when they come over here, they have crawfish. Vietnamese crawfish is spectacular.
Really?
Yeah.
never had that.
Oh, they get down, dude.
See,
They
It's
get
not
down.
a
Like in
regular
Houston,
crawfish,
if you
but-
have a chance to have
Take it
lunch with
down.
Ben, you get great food and a history lesson.
and a little
It's great.
yeah. Well, you got to understand where things come from,
That's
the
right.
terroir, of it all. We got a question for Cole,
Uh-oh.
and we're gonna hook you up to a polygraph for this one. Janet Turner wants to know: does Cole bull ride?
No, I do not. Absolutely
Never,
not.
ever, ever.
Nope.
Not even on accident?
Nope, not even on accident. Nope.
How about have you ever bulldogged?
No, I don't think so.
You never wrestled a bull by the horns, grabbed him by the
No,
nose?
no. There was one time I almost got run over by one, but that was about it.
Never. Have you? Do you rope?
We need
Do
to
you do
change
anything
that.
No,
like
man. So there's cowboy,
cowboy
stuff.
stuff?
Like there's cowboy stuff, riding the horse with throwing rope and doing all of that. But then there's rancher stuff where those are the guys that just like honk the truck a couple times and they come running. That one's me.
You're the truck honker.
Wait, so you don't have a horse?
No, there's no horses.
So truck honking. So you're
Disappointment.
kind of like you did prepare for this a little bit. Truck honking and just like hanging out in the truck, waiting for someone else to show up.
Yeah, kind of.
Sounds like car shipping.
That's right.
Let's see. Justin Carver Diaz says optimizing service and quality for the win. All right, look at this. Hey y'all, this is a lot of fun. You want to have a little more fun?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's play a little game here, okay? We like to end every show with a game we call overrated, underrated. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Shoot.
All right. First one up. Well, first, actually, hold on. Before I do this, I should ask you a question. Do you know how to play the game?
That's
I
a
believe,
good
I
question.
believe we do for the most part. Yeah.
Wow. Look at this. You ever heard the parable of the old bull and the young bull?
Oh God.
You know, it's funny. The young bull
That sounds
says,
right.
"Oh yeah." The old bull says, "I don't know." Isn't that funny? I'll tell you that
That's right.
story offline.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah. So there's basically two things you need to know. I'm going to give you a topic, and then you're going to tell me if it is either overrated or underrated? Okay.
Okay.
And then I will tell you if you are correct.
Okay.
Let's go.
If you laughed at that, you are smart.
Yes.
All right, here we go. First one up. Overrated, underrated, shipping cars and reload policies.
I'm going to say it's underrated.
Yeah. Underrated.
Pretty much have to. Or else
Well,
it's
I
just
have
close.
to. It's,
I mean, I would say
a
when
gimme.
you're asking someone to relocate 2,000 miles,
Yes.
expecting them to drive, let's see, the best drivers are probably 500 miles a day. So you're looking at 4 days minimum for a family to drive
Yep.
side by side.
Well, a professional driver by law can only do.
About 500 to 600 miles.
I think
max.
I think there's 11 hours in the cab.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 hours at 65 miles an hour is.
That's a professional.
yeah, a professional, that's what he does. And a lot of the companies now are having two guys in the truck at the same time to kind of get around that.
Yeah.
Tandem action, little
Yeah.
team,
Little team.
a little team.
So yeah, I would definitely say underrated. It's, I mean, at least having one vehicle shipped, because I mean, having a husband and wife, or the employee and spouse driving side by side for
That's tough.
2,000 miles is tough. Versus shipping at least one car, maybe they drive out as a family. So I think it's a benefit. Definitely is needed.
How many miles? How many miles should we say? Realistically, anything over X miles, you should ship a car.
I would say max 15, low end 1,000. Like anything that's kind of over that, I would say definitely needs to go.
I would say 50 miles. No, I'm just kidding.
50 miles.
No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
hey, but the IRS ruling was 50 miles, wasn't it? It has to be over 50 miles to get relocation benefits for tax purposes.
Yep.
Back when relocation benefits were tax exempt.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you actually have a point there,
Yes.
Charles.
See? Right
See,
on.
he knew.
So, but I would say realistically, a lot of policies are 500 plus miles. So if you have a intra-Texas move, it may not be approved. But if
El
you're,
Paso to Houston.
that's right, that's a good point. But yeah, I mean, it's if your employer is approving less than 500 miles, you should definitely thank them.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a great employer. You go on Glassdoor right now, you leave 5-star review.
That's right, 5-star.
All right, next one up. All right, you guys right now 1 for 1. All right, don't blow.
Okay.
Here we go. Next one up. All right, next one's gonna be a little harder. Okay. Overrated, underrated. Working with family.
Ooh, you should be able to answer that. Working
That's
with family.
that's both.
You can't.
You
whoa,
can't
whoa,
s- wait,
hold
hold
on.
on, you're
Hold on.
saying
Yo,
both,
that's
man.
on me because this
You're
is
saying
one of the
both?
rules I typically say. You cannot say both. It is overrated or underrated. Okay.
Okay, so
Then
what's
I'm gonna
it's
have to
not
lean
properly
more
rated.
towards underrated then.
Underrated. Wow.
why would you say underrated?
Well, my fiance works with me, and it's a lot of the moves that I book, she ends up working on anyway, and
Yeah.
I mean it works out really well. I mean, I can kind of lean on
And
her
two
for
of your
that.
cousins.
Yeah, 2 of my cousins as well.
So, I mean, I could see, I mean, a lot of moving companies are family businesses, You got the family member that works hard, gets everything done, will go above and beyond. And then it might be overrated if you have that family member that's just skating by. So,
Yeah,
I could see both.
you just described first generation and third generation moving companies is what you just described. Yeah.
I would say there's some outliers, but I mean,
Yeah, there are some outliers. Yeah, that's a really great point. Man, Cole, you really navigated that one like
I have to watch it with that one. That's
Dang, man.
that can get me in trouble.
you got upper management written all over you, man. That was a very political answer, buddy.
skirting that.
Nice job, man. Look at you. Yeah, working with family, huh? Sheesh. I think I think it's underrated. I think it gets a bad rap, but man, there's a lot of pitfalls you got to watch out for. There's a lot of pitfalls, and to your point about the moving companies, the challenge I see with these moving companies when you have shared ownership in a family,
Yeah.
like let's say that I started a moving company, right? Cross moving, right? And I have 2 kids, okay? And I'll leave it to my 2 kids, and then they have 2 kids, right? And so the 2 brothers are running the moving company. They're doing reasonably well, coasting on my good name. Okay, and all my goodwill, and I took them to ERC every year, and I took them to IAM every year, and I introduced them around and everything, and they have my work ethic because they grew up sweeping the docks and everything, right?
That's right.
And then they have 2 kids that didn't grow up sweeping the docks, that grew up going to private school, that didn't have my work ethic, and barely knew me, and never went to IAM and ERC and all that jazz, right? and now there's 4 of them, right? And now these 2 are retired. Now there's 4 people that own the moving company, and they're all trying to live off the same EBITDA of that I was living off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
possibly less because maybe they're not as engaged.
yeah, and the moving over the years has gone like that.
Which leads to fighting.
A lot of fighting. People getting irritated and upset and pointing fingers at each other. Oof.
Could definitely see that.
It's
I mean,
tough.
yeah. We've had really good family here. Richard Gay, which was his uncle, started Acme in 2011. So
I should have been nicer to him this whole time.
That's right.
Now you tell me.
Yes.
Now you tell me.
Yes.
Before you're just like, oh, I got this kid Cole. He's pretty good.
yeah, that's right.
Sheesh. Side up job.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I'll say underrated. I said underrated. There you go.
See,
All
there we
right.
go.
There you go. Next one up. Overrated, underrated. World Cup soccer.
Underrated. Soccer is the world sport. And I actually got the chance to purchase 8 games of tickets yesterday. So I'm going to be going to a bunch of World Cup games next summer.
Bro, that's a lot.
If
of
I can get
tickets.
off work. I mean, we'll see.
Did you like cash out part of your 401k to do that?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I did it ahead of time. I knew. I was like, but yeah, I mean, I've been a lifelong soccer fan. Never been to a World Cup game. I've been to a Champions League game in Munich, Germany. Been to an Arsenal game in London. So, but this is going to be awesome.
very cool. I went to a Real Madrid Barcelona El Clasico,
El Clasico.
here in AT&T Stadium.
That's awesome.
With my father-in-law, who's going to be 80 this month. He's a big Barcelona fan.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty
Messi
awesome.
fan.
Yeah. Well, he's loved Barcelona since I guess the 60s when he backpacked through Europe.
Man, that's
And
so
he went
cool.
to Spain and ran with the Bulls and did all that stuff. So we went to the game, and then now I'm standing outside in 95-degree weather, waiting for an Uber for 2 hours. And
Oh, yeah.
it was bad. But anyway, the game was amazing.
Yeah, World Cup's going to be interesting. I mean, with having it here in Dallas is going to be awesome. But
AT&T Stadium is going to be really fun to be in.
it is. It is. But
Do you know where your seats are?
No idea. So they have category 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can only buy the category, and then you find out your seats later.
Okay, so you kind of get like the general category, and then you get assigned.
Get an idea. And the interesting thing is they have category 4, which is the most affordable.
Sounds like a
But
hurricane.
I swear there's like 200 tickets that are in that category. It's like, is there really a category 4?
It's going to be standing room only.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Just like Cowboys games.
I like those at the Cowboys games, though.
I went standing room only for the Green Bay game. I had a really nice time. I did find myself wishing I was inside for some of it.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to pay like 8 times more and not drink
Yeah.
as many beers.
Yeah. Not drink as many beers.
Well, you got to get up to go get a beer the whole time, and then you're paying more, and I don't know.
Those beers aren't cheap. Like
No, they're
16,
not.
18 bucks a whack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was anyway. Yeah, you're right. World Cup soccer is underrated, Charles.
3 for 3.
100% underrated.
Well, you would say
I'm gonna
overrated.
bow out of this one.
You're going to say overrated.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Overrated, underrated. There we go. Oh, I got you, buddy. Overrated, underrated. You ready for this one?
Shoot.
Hook 'em. Texas Longhorns. Overrated, underrated.
I went to Tech, man.
Yeah.
So underrated?
I just still remember the Michael Crabtree game, like the one where he won at the very end. I remember that day. That was a lot of fun.
He went to Tech, right?
Yeah.
Guns up.
Yep.
This year, overrated.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah. Overrated, underrated.
Yeah.
Texas Longhorns.
I would say overrated.
Yeah, they came in at
just-
number 3 in the country, didn't they? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Arch Manning was supposed to be the second coming of
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Nobody's
Hadn't been
nobody's
looking good.
questioning why he wasn't playing last year now. It's a big disappointment, I would say.
I haven't watched much, but it didn't seem like I missed anything either.
No.
What's up with that?
I can't even talk to Jeffrey about it anymore. It
Yeah.
just makes him upset.
Where's Jeff Jeffrey? You in the comments still?
Yeah, where are you at?
You've been kind of quiet. Yeah, man, they're overrated, dude. Man, it felt like Texas was getting it together and getting all that money going, and the Matthew McConaughey money train was going, and
Kind of sounds like the Cowboys. All right.
oh, jeez. See now, why you throwing
Am
strays
I
out
right?
here? Why are you throwing strays out here? Overrated, underrated. The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh gosh, how did that happen? Do you want me to speak first or
No, you go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
you go ahead.
So I would say overrated. As a lifelong Cowboys fan, I got to enjoy the 90s. And
Yes.
since then, it's like we're 8-8 and the next year it's our year. How is it our year? We're not even close. We're not even close.
We've been like 12-5 a lot of years in a row.
Yeah.
We've had good record. We get into the playoffs and we get smoked by the Packers and the Niners or
Every round in the first
anybody,
round.
the Seahawks every year.
Or the Des Bryant catch that was a catch.
That was a catch.
That was a catch.
That was a
Everybody knows it
catch.
was a catch.
That was a catch.
There's no question. that
I
was a
think the Cowboys right now, this year, as it stands right now, underrated. We should have won that Bears game. We should have won that Eagles game. We're sitting at 2-2-1. Dang it.
2-2-1.
Okay, 2-2-1.
Wait, there's a third?
Dang it.
Like
We're a tie, baby.
I know.
2-2-1. And you know what? And we got the Panthers coming up. Daggone it. We got a super easy schedule. The Eagles just lost last night to Jackson Dart. Okay.
That's right.
And Scattaboo. Scattaboo and Dart.
He's my favorite, man.
You know, Scattaboo's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But you know, I think we're going places, man.
Yeah.
I think we're going places. It's our year.
Oh, God. Not again.
I mean,
It's our year, man.
I'm going to say, like,
When do we talk about setting the right expectations? Is
yeah, I
that
was going to
what-
say,
is that what we
I haven't
say?
been alive for a championship for the Cowboys. So, I mean, I keep waiting on it. I'm hoping for every year. I'm a huge fan for them. Like, every year I'm hoping, but it just never seems to happen.
Summer Downey says Jerry Jones is overrated. The Cowboys themselves are underrated. What's up,
pretty
Summer?
fair,
I
yeah.
dig it. I dig it, Summer. Summer says Texas is overrated. Gig 'em.
Of course, she
Yeah.
wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. We have a question.
Okay.
Look at Janet, don't quit.
Nice.
Janet, don't quit. Summer also says, as a rookie in the reload business, Charles has taught me everything I know. There is way more to this than I would have thought.
Okay.
That's a pretty
Why
nice.
didn't she give you any credit?
She's not going to do that. That's my fiance, by the
Hold
way.
on, hold on. She said, Cole is overrated.
Oh, my gosh.
no,
Oh,
she
gee whiz.
All right. I'll have to
Dang.
send her the $20 I told her I'd pay her.
Wow. Janet Turner says, do you all clear titles for international or use a custom house broker?
We do use a customs broker to import cars.
Yep. And Renee says the same thing. You were right, Charles. We use a
Yes.
customs broker to process the paperwork for border crossing. I can file the AES, ITN exports into Canada
Living the
for
hedge
carriers and self-crossing.
That's
But
right.
everywhere else, we have to use custom brokers.
Yep.
Look at that. We all learn something.
Renee does a great job since you joined
does.
our team a year ago. She's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, this has been great, y'all. I know we're a little over time here, but gosh, you know what happens in overtime? Ties.
Ties.
This is good.
Oh
that
my gosh.
foosball table's calling me. Y'all.
That's right. It's go time. No spinning.
No spinning.
No spinnies.
I might get
spinnies.
away with one if I apologize. Is what I hear.
That's right.
Y'all want to leave us with a final thought before we sign off here?
No, that's all you.
Okay. Well, yeah, Ben, thanks for having us on the show. You know, long time fan, you know, since you started back in your days in Michigan.
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate you having us on, and you know, letting us share kind of working together on leadership and building a next generation. I mean, it's weird to go from one of the young ones to kind of the middle of the road. You know, not so young anymore, right, Ben?
Yeah.
We're about the same age.
Yeah.
So
It is strange.
but it is strange. But yeah, I mean, just doing well with the next generation and working together, learning from each other, really.
Super cool. Yeah, it's great being here. It's great being here in your office. Super cool seeing what you've done here with Acme and meeting, you know, the whole team being here and getting to know your whole team and Cole and all the guys here that make it all happen, and everybody checking in here as well. And it's really super cool to see your success and everything. It's a real testament to the operational excellence that you guys have going on here at Acme. So super cool to see that happening for y'all. Thanks everybody for the questions and getting in the comments here. It was great having Cole Goolsby here and Charles Beaty here at Acme in Lewisville, Texas.
That's right. Hey, if you're in Dallas, come see us.
Look at that.
Stop by.
And I'm going to go
Play some foosball.
I'm going to go kick some butt in foosball right now.
That's right.
See you later, guys.
All right. See you.